This is a highly corroded propeller, and I'm going to give it a treatment with an epoxy that claims to bond to bronze, but I've wire brushed it and acid washed it with 1 part, 2 part acid base to make sure that whatever contaminants were on it are off, and then I've coated it with some of this epoxy. It's a quick cure, and then I'll sand it and apply another coat, and then I'll skim coat the whole propeller, and we'll see if it lasts. If it does not, I'll probably be replacing this with a slightly larger blade anyway on the next haul out. But I'm going to see if I can get this to last another year. Here's the propeller size. It's 14RH10. And then there's a serial number on it. I'm guessing this is manufacturer information. And this is the first coat. We'll sand that down and apply a second coat. See how this is turning pink? This has already been compromised. Hopefully it'll be enough to hold the propeller on till we go to switch it next time. But I'm going to coat all this as well, and hopefully that'll cut down on the galvanic action, because I only have a space to put here for my zinc, and it seems like it's only lasting about 6 months right now. And this is what I affectionately call the Kelp Kicker. It is it's a paddleboard keel with the mount that you can buy, a glass that in, and then this is replaceable, but if a line comes along, it hits here and then it hits the rudder and goes back, and should normally stay out of the propeller. Had it on for a year, and I've run over some crab pots and nothing got wrapped around the propeller, so I'm not 100% prepared to say it works, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be very helpful, or that it has been helpful. So that's that part. Okay, so it's the next day. We're now using this epoxy. It says it's good for steel, aluminum, cast iron, copper, and brass. Now we're using a bronze propeller, but brass is a component of bronze, so I'm hoping that it bonds well. And we're mixing that up, stirring it up, and then we're brushing it onto this propeller, just like this, and it dries. You only have about 2 minutes. It says 5 minutes. You have about 2 minutes to work with it. But I have it coated on this, and I've got enough to maybe have 3-4 brushes. Each brush will last about 2 minutes. And this is the area that was pitted, that's been filled in with epoxy, sanded down, prepped. And now I'm just going to coat it, and it'll be coated like this. And then I'll still use a prop-friendly bottom paint, because if you use regular bottom paint, because the copper and the bronze are dissimilar metals, it can cause corrosion like this, although I believe this is related to electrolysis, because this is my only point really here that's exposed in the water, and the ground is connected to the engine, so any electrical conductivity that's going to happen is going to happen here. So if I can seal this off, then hopefully the concentration of electricity will be here, and that will allow the zinc to do its job and deteriorate from any electrical current that may be going through there. So we'll see. I'll know next season when I pull this out. So you can watch this video, and then somewhere next year, if you're still following, I'll do a follow-up on this. Most of my experiments work, not all of them, and this is one that is questionable because I haven't had good success with epoxy sticking to bronze before, but we'll see. This is specifically formulated for metal, so hopefully it will work. So one thing I wanted to show you was these little bristle brushes. You have to kind of work on them because you get these bristles, and you don't want this in the epoxy. So just pinch it, bend it before you use it to pull out any loose fibers that may be in there. And then you can mix up your epoxy. Squirt this in here. And I'm going to work very quickly with this because it's going to dry very quickly. So I stir it up. It has to be stirred thoroughly. If you don't stir it thoroughly, you have a good chance that it won't cure properly. So make sure that it's stirred thoroughly, mixed thoroughly. I mean, obviously, if I only have 2 minutes of work time, you want to get right down to business pretty quick. Sorry, I don't have a stand at the moment, so we're gonna. You'll be able to see me doing this. So I'll pull this one over, go right to work. And because it's epoxy, you can kind of dab it on and then brush it. And sometimes you have to go different directions. Even with that, I still get a couple loose hairs here and there. Should be wearing gloves, but sometimes the gloves are in the bottom of the lazarette and you just have to make the decision to go for it. Obviously with this epoxy, you don't want it to sag. So the quick dry is nice in that sense because it starts setting up so quickly that sagging, man, this is bad when this is just shedding. This starts setting up very quickly. And I'm just brushing this in line to get a good coverage. And you can come across, fills in any voids, and then finish up the same way. There's a few. Little hairs in here. I don't know if I'll get two coats down. You see those little, it's a problem, but you don't want to use an expensive brush because you're going to blow $10 for something that's going to work for 2 minutes and then it's got to be thrown away. Shoot. Once it starts setting up, you got to stop. You can't mess with it because you don't want to. This has got a lot of hair in it. All right, let's see if we can get this brushed out without too much more trauma. Oh, there's one. Wow, this particular brush is really bad. I should have cleaned it out a little bit more before I used it. Sometimes you have to make adjustments as you go, but when you mix up these epoxies, man, you do not have much time to work. I've got about another 10 or 20 seconds and it's going to set. So I'm just doing the final one, and a buddy of mine, Mark, Felber years ago told me, you get it to a certain point, don't touch it again, like I'm touching it now. But that's it. All right, so that side's done. And this epoxy is going to set up here very, very quickly. Mix up and do the next one. So also, sometimes when you're out in the middle of nowhere, you run out of brushes. I have 2 left. I can't make the total amount of passes that I need to finish the propeller, but I can use this like a squeegee, and I can dip it in and drag it across the propeller. So I'll use these, and the reason is I don't have access to get more. I mean, when you're out in the middle of nowhere, you've got to work with what you have. So I'm going to use these as brushes once I run out of these. So I'm going to mix up another batch and we'll continue on with the propeller here in just a minute. So here's another reason to use a 5-minute cure epoxy on an application like this. In the tropics, in June, July, it's rainy season here in Panama, and these clouds will come in. It'll rain like hell for 10 minutes and then it'll clear up. So you want something that's going to cure fast and dry. So you just wait till the rain comes, wait it out, dry everything off, go back to work. It's the only way you can get stuff done here. Keep shedding.